Hey there, Aquarius. I hope you guys are doing really well. I'm going to go ahead and get into an oracle and tarot reading for you. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, comment if you wish. And if you're seeking a personal reading, my information is in the description box below. So, Aquarius, your oracle energy this week is flexible. This requires or asks us to be flexible in situations, in our mindset, and how things may come up. So just be mindful of that type of ebb and flow, give and take. It feels like that might help you along and benefit you in the long run. When it comes to family and community here, you have the Knight of Swords. So with your family community, the Knight of Swords can sometimes indicate an air sign, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. Sometimes this is going to require us to be very decisive in the communication that we give off to others or that we share with others. This may also be somebody coming in towards us to communicate with us. This can indicate a lot of hurried energy, a lot of impact in whatever is being spoken or shared. Either way, though, this may come and offer you a new potential or a new possibility in a different way that you may have not considered before. So be open to being flexible in whatever you speak or whatever is spoken to you. It may be coming out of the blue here, but it may also be beneficial for you. Sometimes it might require you to be a little bit, courageous in regard to how you apply yourself to this, but, just be open to the communication. So with your health energy here, Aquarius, you have the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is an interesting energy for health just because it can often talk about the need to basically, sometimes it requires us to get real with our health goals. So being very clear-minded in what you want to approach your goals as, staying focused on your process or the progress that you are engaging in. The Four of Cups can also talk about cutting out what is not necessary for us anymore, especially if you've gotten very bored in your routine. Sometimes the routine itself can be boring, but the outcome can be beneficial. So if you're losing momentum, if you're losing steam in a situation, take time, recalibrate, be flexible in your approach. Maybe we don't need to be rigid. Maybe we need to be a little bit flexible so things don't, fizzle out quicker than they should. With the Four of Cups here, sometimes this can also talk about like depression, or maybe where we are looking back on our previous form or figure and being depressed because maybe we don't look like that anymore. It's saying have patience in the process and you can achieve what you want. I'm going to move this table back a little bit because I feel like it's getting in the way of this camera. It's bumping up against it. And also sometimes too, the Four of Cups indicates where we may need to reject certain behaviors or certain choices so that we can actually attain what we want in a healthier manner, okay? When it comes to your finances and career here, Aquarius, you have the Shadow. The Shadow is the devil, all right? So this can be toxic work environments, toxic coworkers, toxic bosses. The devil here is very frustrating energy just because often it's going to, the first thing as a reader, as a tarot reader, what I want to, the way I go about reading is usually it's my first impulse, the first, intuitive impulse here. The first thing that came to mind with the devil here in regard to your work situations here, Aquarius, is like a coworker or somebody that is, it just feels like somebody that either like has it out for you or like is gossiping behind your back. It just feels like that. It just feels like that. So it's like playing nice to your face, but like behind your back, they don't have your back. So that's coming up really heavily for me. This can also talk about like, obsessed with your career, obsessed with your work, maybe needing to be a little bit more flexible with how you apply yourself so you're not being burnt out or not overly committing. There's an element of that as well. But overall, the first thing that I said about like a potential coworker or somebody that's like, I don't know, they present one way, but they are not that way. This feels very heavy to me. So maybe something is, I don't know. It just feels very, very heavy. Be mindful of the people that you have in your sphere, especially ones that you have like intuitive, like hesitation regarding. Protect yourself. It doesn't need to be a witch hunt, but protect yourself. Okay. Especially if you have an inkling. In your relationship energies, you have the Justice card. So this is about fairness, equality, creating balance in regard to relationships. Sometimes this can be, getting married. It can be getting divorced. I mean, we do have the Devil here, and we have the Four of Swords here, or Four of Cups, and the Knight of Swords. So sometimes this may be having to be flexible with how things end up, or, turn around here. We may be rejecting somebody, or we may be calling a partner out due to their toxic behavior and realizing that, certain aspects of that may be affecting you and you don't want that to be affecting you. So when we can, bring fairness, or at least adjust things so they are fair, that is what we need to be doing. So certain sacrifices may need to be made in regard to this, just to find a certain level of balance here. For some of you, it's letting somebody go. For those of you who are single, the Justice card can indicate where your mind is very much on what is right, what is fair, what is good for me. It's literally having your requirements in your mind, knowing what you will and will not accept. It's getting very clear in that, so that when you do enter into the dating world, you know what you want. It also says, yes, understand what you want, know what you want, but be flexible in how things come to you. It's not about rigidity. It's just having a base understanding of your needs and your requirements. I require kindness. I require honesty. I require people to be who they are. I require whatever it is, make sure that you're saying that. It gets a little bit weird when we're like, oh, they have to have, 6 figures. They have to have a certain type of car. Like, that's dictating to the universe, and that's not fair within itself. So, I want a partner who wants to be with me. I want a partner who's honest, who's forthright. I want a partner who's, there are certain traits and qualifications that, are important here. So get good on that, but know what you want, be fair about that, and listen to people, pay attention to them. Don't just judge them and cut them out. Let them present themselves. And if something doesn't feel right, then make your decisions there. Overall though, for the singles, this could also be just a Libra person that you're connecting with, but there's possibility that is good here. The Justice card is a very positive energy. It's being in alignment with what you deserve. So, also be fair in your approach and who you are, and show up that way, and you will get the right connections. What you don't see coming here, Aquarius, you have the Hermit here. So what you don't see coming could be a Virgo person. The way that these cards are, maybe this, ooh, that's really loud. That is so loud. For some of you, I do want to come back to this work thing. For some of you, maybe there's a Virgo person here that is problematic in your work connections, or some sort of God, that is so fucking loud. It just feels like what you don't see coming, either Virgo energy, but this energy is bringing a light on the Justice card, if you look at that, and then right before the Justice card, we have the Devil. So it just feels like some sort of energy, I feel, that is being done in the dark will be revealed. But you have 3 major arcana energy here: the Death, the Devil, the Justice card, and the Hermit here. Major arcana cards show up when things like are emphasized in a significant way. They come through in a very significant way. Oftentimes these are situations that involve karma, involve life lessons, things that we can't really wiggle away out of, but we just kind of have to see through. I don't know, Aquarius, it just feels like be mindful of who you speak with at this time. Be mindful of like who you trust at work or in your connections, even in your community connections here. It just feels that there may be somebody that is not who they appear to be. In your face, they may present one way, but there's something about this person, and it feels like it's ego driven or ego based. Like they don't like your success. They don't like how you are effective in the way your approach is. But they're all smiles. It's really uncomfortable. So I'm going to let that go here. I'm getting a headache. My ear is ringing big, and now my headache, I don't get headaches. And so there's an indication here. It's like pressure. I'm going to pull a card real quick, hang on. What is this about? Or can you give me more information? Yeah, you have the Star and you have the 9 of Pentacles here. Bottom of the deck, the High Priestess. Under that, you have the 10 of Pentacles here. So this is about success, Aquarius. It feels like somebody is threatened by your success. The 9 of Pentacles indicates a self-made person, somebody whose talents speak for themselves, right? And the thing about it coming out here with the Star is that the energy is that is part of your divine right. That is part of who you are. It is innate gifts that you are able to wield in your world and in your career sense or wherever it is. It doesn't just have to be associated with your career, but I feel like there's a certain level of jealousy that somebody has because of the path that you're on, because of who you are and how you show up in life. You're utilizing your natural gifts and it's driving somebody nuts. With the High Priestess being at the bottom of the deck, this is somebody that likely you may have an understanding or like an intuition about this, Aquarius, but this person is likely like being very hidden or very quiet about their approach here. I feel like there's a lot of jealousy that this person has, or it's like they are jealous about like how people associate to you or how people feel about you, or like, I don't know, there's something here about jealousy, and I'm going to let it go here, but be mindful. Keep on the path that you're on. Keep doing what you're doing. Justice is here. Justice prevails, and so just be mindful. And with Justice and the Hermit here being so closely together, I don't think that this person really has, like, if they try to do anything that is problematic or, you know, turning people against you or something like that, it feels like that would be found out. So try not to worry too much, but it just feels like somebody has it out for you. Maybe, and maybe not. Maybe you're completely unscathed by that. So good luck. I hope that this is helpful. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, comment if you wish. And if you're seeking a personal reading, my info is in the description box below. Take care, guys. Bye.